Good evening, and thank you for joining us for the Look Finance SEQFC preview show with thanks to Vilic Law. Tonight, just the regular suspects. Liam, how are you?
G'day, Joey. How are you, mate? Good to see you.
Yeah, good.
Well, as always.
Uniform, good to see that. Sorry for lack of shirt. I lost it in the wash, possibly. Tony, how are you, mate?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, good, mate. I see we got the wrong memo about matching shirts, so this is a bit awkward.
That's all right. We'll survive. One of us will win something.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see how it goes in the morning. I'm sure we'll hear about it from each other.
Yeah.
Awesome. Straight into it, boys. So we'll have a pretty concise one tonight with obviously proceedings after this call. NPL, guys, this weekend, pretty exciting. So obviously we're in the pointy end, 2 rounds left. I think starting at the top of the table, Tony, obviously I think the big game, the heavy hitters this weekend, it's going to kind of give us an idea of what we look like coming into the final match day of the year. Lions take on Olympic at Lions Stadium on Saturday at 7. Are you going to be watching that off NPL TV, or are you going to give us a cameo? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't go that far on my holidays.
Sorry?
I don't go that far on my holidays.
What's your thoughts on this game? How's it going to go? How's it going to shape the season?
I think it all depends on the result on Friday. I reckon if Power win, that wraps it up for them, doesn't it?
Close to, I believe so, mathematically.
So hypothetically, why would you risk injuries and suspensions and things like that if Power win that game?
Do you think it'll be a bit of a fizzle then, if for both sides, or do you think Lions will go for blood and try to finish higher on the table?
More than likely, they enjoy knocking Olympic off at any time anyway, so that's all right.
Yeah, I was going to say Lions. Lions are probably they'll be all out at home as well.
Yeah. With their 6 supporters there, they'll be all right.
6 very loyal supporters, Tony.
6 very loyal supporters, mate.
You're never short of controversy, are you, mate?
Attendance dropped once they banned you, mate.
If I went, you would only be watching the game from the car park because I wouldn't be.
Take one of your Mazdas, mate, and pop the boot and sit on top of the car park. Back on track, Joey. Keep going.
Yeah.
Obviously, that other game we alluded to, Liam, is it a kind of an open and shut case? Obviously, Friday night, Power travelled to Capalaba to play out there, so kind of one of the teams occupying top spots, and Capalaba not their best season in past years. How do you think that sits for us?
Oh, look, Penn Power absolutely. They'll want to get this win for sure, just to keep it going, keep the win rate going. Don't make any guesses out of it. If Olympic win, so they'll keep going. They'll keep winning, and Capalaba, I don't think they've done too badly this season. I think for the first time up there in the NPL, I think they should be pretty proud of how they went, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think obviously first game starting Saturday as well at 6 o'clock. Moreton Bay take on City. We had a bit of a chat about this off the call.
Yeah.
Tony, what do you think, mate? Obviously you're I think you're frenemies a little bit with the City crew.
It's now or never for them.
Now or never for them. Obviously they need to get the points, and it's a pretty difficult run home for them. Do you think they can snag something from Moreton Bay?
Well, we've been saying that they're going to have to lift, but nothing's happened.
No.
But then again, Moreton Bay have got nothing to play for either, so you don't know.
No. And look, relegation, threatened, absolutely relegation threatened. So, we've been saying it for the last few weeks now that, clubs lift and players lift to try and avoid this and try to make something of it. But yeah, you're right, Tony. They you can't really put your finger on anything to say, it's a possibility that they could get this game. I just don't see it, to be honest. They're just offering nothing at the moment. I don't know what's going on, and so Moreton Bay will, they'll at home, I still think that Moreton Bay will get up, and I think City. I had Redlands as the team to go down, but I honestly don't know now. Honestly do not know. It could go either way, and City got to find something. They have to find something, otherwise one of the biggest clubs in Brisbane football and Queensland football are going to be relegated into the FQPL. It's unheard of.
After last night's result, the pressure is on City.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because Redlands are on top now and they've had more wins.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
Tony, of course, you got to see that game last night, Redlands getting up over Strikers. Do they seem like a better team now? Do they seem hungry? Do you think they've got it to go the rest of the season and hopefully stay up?
They played with a bit of passion, but that was the worst game of NPL I've seen in years.
Was it just the quality of the game itself, the passing and the tackling, or what?
At all.
Say again, sorry?
The Strikers didn't look interested one bit.
Yeah.
So obviously there's plenty going on behind the scenes there, whether that affected them or not.
Yeah.
It was diabolical.
Yeah, right. Well,
yeah, and they got the win. That's all there is to it.
Well, I guess that's all that matters to them, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Jordan Manning's. Hopefully he'll turn him around again for next week. For this week. So against Raw. So look, anything's possible. Anything's possible because Raw got nothing to play for really. So you got no local rivalry there either. So I don't know. Redlands. They could be up for this quite easily. Get a result.
I think that momentum's going to make it very interesting. It's relegation battles are probably one of the most interesting points in a season. And Brisbane Roar, they can be one of the best teams, if not the best team on days, and other times they can leave a little bit in the change shed. So it's going to be an interesting fixture, nevertheless.
Absolutely. I mean, also too, you got the Brisbane Roar versus NPL match coming up as well. So are Roar going to use some of their more senior players in the NPL squad to train on with the actual senior A-League team? So, if they take out senior players or good players out of the Raw team, that's Redlands could get a result. And this is how last year was affected with Pride as well when we got relegated. Was that they had the last game against Raw that was depleted against Magpies because they were doing some pre-season stuff. So look, Redlands. If I was Redlands player, I would be giving it everything this week.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously that game's the only Sunday game for the NPL this week. Redlands play at home against the Raw.
Mm-hmm.
The other two games, I know we didn't touch too much, but maybe it's a bit too south for Tony's liking. The other two games are both at 6:30. So Gold Coast Knights take on Wanderers at home, and then Gold Coast United take on Strikers, both at the same time at their respective home grounds. So I think business as usual for those clubs. They've kind of all got an understanding of where they'll finish for the year.
Yeah.
Maybe we might start planning, see what's coming through with the restructures over the next couple of years for them.
I see Knights probably just cruising along with this one tonight. Just have a couple of their first starters probably on the bench. Sunny Coast, it's just these two games. I mean, there's nothing in it. There's nothing to play for. So I see them being a bit of a ball fest, to be fair, especially with Strikers with their issues. Gold Coast United, where they are, that's just what I think anyway.
Well, either way, for the NPL, we've got 2 weekends left and a couple of catch-up games. So we'll hear, obviously, next week how that goes and how it ends up.
Yep.
Moving on from there, obviously, we got the FQPL. So a little bit still pretty competitive at the top. Obviously, one team gets to go up, and at the moment, it's the battle between Thunder and Logan.
Yes.
Unfortunately, friend of the show and on last week, Daniel, Mitchie didn't get the points up at the range, so that's a bit upsetting, but kind of opens up the competition a bit more. Thunder's taking on Southside Eagles on Saturday, and then Logan travel to Pride. Liam, you've got a bit of insight with Pride. Do you think they're going to try and spoil the party for Logan?
Oh, look, no, it's hard to tell, mate, because we're just so inconsistent. Pride have got a stack of first team injuries, and we've got a number of under 20s playing up into the senior squad. So there's a lot of young blokes in there that are just doing their best to try and get results for Pride. And for us to lose the derby the way we did last weekend was a bit sad, and I apologise to you all for not being on for that for the pre-game for that. Yeah, I don't know. I think Logan will want to avenge their 1-0 loss, their only loss for the season against us earlier in the year. So, look, I think Logan will get up. Of course, I want Pride to get up because they're my club, but I just see that night's game would have taken the wind out of their sails. I mean, to be 4-0 down with 35 minutes in a derby, it's going to suck the life out of you. So look, I think Logan will get the win.
And not to jinx them, obviously Tony, Logan have that game. They're playing against Pride, but they've also got Rochdale and Mitchelton to go. Do you think they can lock it down in these games? They've got a couple of games in hand. I know we always talk about Logan being a bit unfortunate over the last few years. Do you think they'll do it this year, Tony?
I think the Rochdale game will decide it. If they drop points against Rochdale, then they would have to go to Mitchelton and win, won't they?
I believe so, because having a look through at fixtures for Thunder obviously we mentioned play against Southside Eagles, so I think for the punters at home, they've got a bit of an understanding of how that'll go.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I believe that might be the season wrapped up for Southwest, because that's 20 games. So even if they do win that, that puts them onto 46 points at 20 games, and then really Logan just need at least 4 or 5 points, and they've got it locked down. 4 points to tie, but the roughly same amount of wins depending how it goes.
Yep.
If they can get 5 points out of these last 3 games, it's theirs, I believe. All right, Tony, I see you doing the math there, but
I don't know. I still think. I had Thunder to win it from the outright. I think I'm still gonna stick with Thunder to take it out for promotion.
Well, it's after this weekend, I think it might be a stressful week next week trying to see if that stays true.
Yeah, and you still got that 4th, 5th, and 6th there to get to that last 4th position for the finals. So, if Knights can play the way they did against Pride, good, hard, quick passing football, Lucky Joe in the front line there. Look, they can get that last win quite easily. I don't know. Well, it's tight. It's tight.
Well, for that question, then, your beloved Pride, they currently sit 7th on the ladder.
Yeah.
25 points with Rochdale. Actually, having a look, they've got more wins than Rochdale. So I know this has been the hot topic. We're not going off goal difference this year. It's off wins.
Yeah.
So for the platform that I look at on, I believe they're actually in 6th place. They should be.
Well, I can see a result against Souths, which is the last game of the season. So if they manage to get a draw against Logan, I don't see it, to be honest. I think Logan will win big on Saturday night. So where would that leave us? So that would leave them 25, 6. They'll leave on 28. Oh, geez, yeah, I don't know. I
think you're gonna have a stressful week, mate, with your predictions. It's good this time of year, but it doesn't help the old ticker.
It doesn't. I have had a horrible year picking games, blowout scores. So I should be relegating myself, to be honest.
You're not the only one.
Probably for next season. I'll come back if Darren wants me, but I think I might be relegated to the bench. I think. Oh.
Mate, you got plenty of value.
Got a controversy corner next year, I think.
Sorry, Tony?
We should just have controversy corner.
Mate, all we'll do next year, rumour has it, it'll just be you and Phil for half an hour. We don't and you're locked in a room and got to work things out every week.
Where's Cato going to go next season, East?
Who?
Cato Aochi.
Okay. Yeah, yep. Don't know.
Maybe we'll see. I think obviously with the restructure, there's plenty of opportunities for players coming through, especially the young ones with this 23 league.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Like from your discussions last week, there's a few unknowns there. How many under 23s or will leave some of the stronger FQPL clubs to play up in the higher leagues, and and leave these other clubs kind of battling to get their way back up again, So it's just, oh, man. Next year is going to be phenomenal.
Going to be good. Regardless of what you think, I know there's plenty of opinions getting thrown around about FQ and how things run, but for me, I just love football. I love the excitement of the finals, the battle for promotion and relegation. So
yeah, absolutely. But you hate to see these younger guys that have played at these clubs since they were juniors, and just suddenly, someone just dangles a carrot and away they go because, I know that's football. You can't stop that, and at the end of the day, they'll go if they want to go. But it's just giving them more of an opportunity for these loyal younger players that have been with clubs, for so long, just to get up and go. So I don't know. You can only think, that they'll just cherry pick the better players, and
it's the age-old debate, I guess. Loyalty, against, being able to chase that stardom.
Yeah, but I mean, we all love football and we all like talking about it. So we just got to talk about the games, I guess, and not the game and not the political games. So.
Oh, mate, I don't have the energy for that side of it. No. So let's move on, and we might look at the Brisbane leagues from here.
Yes, let's go.
Fantastic. So I think the big news out of the BPL last week: Centenary Stormers, first team to get points off St George Willawong. So pretty big. They had a draw 2-2 last Friday, I believe it was. So
last night.
Sorry.
Last night.
Oh, was that last night? Far out. Okay, that's only fresh off the presses. I thought they played on the weekend, but yeah, what a result.
Well, we had them tipped to go undefeated, didn't we? Really? They were going so well.
Last club to not go without dropping points. So I think that's everyone in Brisbane and the state leagues. Their clean runs are done. So interesting calls there.
Yeah,
so this weekend in the Brisbane Premier League Premier competition. So I'll touch through these this week because we're a bit more consolidated. We've got Taringa Rovers, obviously, as mentioned, Centenary Stormers. Toowong's taking on St George, and then Grange is taking on Albany Creek.
Yeah.
So I think with these ones, we go in. This is second last round as well for these guys. I think St George are pretty close to wrapping it up. I know they've got 2 games to play. And 3 points ahead of Albany Creek. So providing they can get 4 points, I think. What do you think, boys? Willawong's pretty much tied it up.
Yeah, absolutely. We had them called well into the season at the beginning. So absolutely, yeah, no doubt. So Albany Creek have done well though to get where they are, and they all have really. But I guess we'll see how they go next season.
Good mention there, because I might segue a little bit. And Tony, you seem to be the man in the know. Albany Creek, obviously, quite a big connection to Moreton Bay. Same facilities, a lot of resource sharing there. What do you think may be the way that those clubs will have to go now that there's going to be 3 state leagues come next year? Are they going to be able to play each other? Is Albany Creek going to be promoted into these leagues if they do well?
I think Albany Creek are gone.
Do you think this is
surely they can't have 2 teams playing at the same ground in the same comp?
What would that be? Just
the same facilities. They've got the same grounds. They've got everything else.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that they're under the same banner.
Yeah.
So they're going to have 2. Say Albany Creek get promoted 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
What happens? 2 teams, same ground.
You reckon they might move, mate?
I reckon they're gone.
Gone from his ground or altogether? They're going to fold. The club will fold. Really?
It'll be interesting because Albany Creek's been a fixture in the Brisbane scene for decades upon decades.
Yeah. Where are they going to play?
How can they just have a club fold just like that, though? Why would they not try and play out of another ground somewhere? I don't know how. Here I say just find another ground, of course, but that's not as easy as that.
Where's the other ground?
Real estate. Just
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, why would you fold a club?
Mm.
Why would you not try and share another ground with some other club? Or it's just
maybe that could be called the Albany Creek Jets.
Could it possibly be a situation like Brisbane Roar and Brisbane Roar Youth come to when you have the FFA Cup? Obviously, Brisbane Roar is the representation for the club, but both teams play in national competitions. Obviously, Roar with the Hyundai, no longer Hyundai, just the A-League.
A-League.
and Brisbane Roar Youth in the National Premier League's competitions. Is it possibly one of those ones where they just may have to sit it out and let Big Brother take over?
Well, they have to.
Either way, I think it's going to be an interesting one. Both two, obviously, really good entities, regardless of how they're seen or how they're structured internally. But I think that's going to be an interesting can of worms come 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just can't see a club folding just like that. I just don't know.
It's hard, but that's for myself. But maybe we're on a bit of a tangent. It's kind of like one of those ones. I look at it, and obviously another friend of the show. I'm just dropping names tonight, being shameless. But that situation when Gold Coast City split off from Palm Beach. It's one of those interesting ones, you know. Maybe it's a chicken and the egg. What came first, or what's going to last? Because Gold Coast City had plenty of history coming through with FFA Cup, winning the NPL in the second season. It's interesting, and once again we could go all night, but it's football. It's one of those unknowns until it happens.
Moving on.
Division 3 or 4 then.
What was that, Tony?
Would Albany Creek go to the lowest division and work their way back up?
Ooh.
Would they want to throw all that progress away, though? I don't know. There's so many
teams have the same ground.
Might after we get off this call, I might be on the buzzer to Cormac and see if he's got any input for next week for us.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on from there. Enough speculation and fantasy booking. Capital League 1. So this weekend we've got the Lakes taking on UQFC on Saturday, Western Spirit taking on Sanford at the same time, and then Mount Gravatt there on Sunday against Brisbane Athletic. So
where's Sanford?
So it's on top of the table still. So they're sitting there at the moment. There's 5 points clear of Brisbane Athletic, with I believe 2 games to go. So I think
Sanford easily.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. I think that'll be the situation. It's pretty clear cut. I think we're having a look through the Brisbane competitions at the moment.
Where did Spirit finish their regular season? Can you recall? Putting you on the spot there, Joey.
Unfortunately, Spirit. I mean, at the moment they're sitting in 6th, but I think they were balanced. They were teetering between them and Mount Gravatt. We had a break off between the two, so it's. I think there's going to be a bit hard because I know they've got more games played than both the Lakes and Mount Gravatt, and they're 2 points behind them. So I don't know if there'll be much more of a year for Western Spirit, unfortunately.
No. I think Terry Kirkland there at Sanford. I think that he'll take it out this year as his last hurrah before he heads up north to Caboolture. So. Sanford for sure.
What was that, Liam?
Terry Kirkman. Yeah, it's his last season. Well, it's his only season with Sanford. Once he's finished, I think he's heading north to Caboolture. I thought. Didn't we report that earlier in the season? He was up to Caboolture somewhere. I thought we did.
If not, it sounds good.
I haven't heard that, but it sounds all right. Yeah.
I thought you commented on it, Tony. To be honest.
I thought he told me at the beginning he's got a 2-year deal at Sanford.
Oh, okay. Look, I know. I'm sure someone brought it up in our group chat that he was heading to Caboolture. Terry, if you're listening, g'day, mate.
Might have to
PM.
squeeze him in before the end of the year. That'd be a good insight for the local football scene.
Is it a rumor? Is it a true rumor? Is it goss that shouldn't have got out? I don't know. But
I don't know what's worse. Me speculating Gray going to Perth Glory, or yourself saying Terry's going to Caboolture. This is maybe we're both on the bench next year.
Oh my God!
At Perry Park last night, there was all sorts of talk. Blokes going to Caboolture, blokes going to Gold Coast Knights. Excuse me. Yeah. So.
Yeah. That merry-go-round starts again.
It's the silly season, isn't it?
Yeah.
Moving on, Joey.
Moving on. So obviously, Cap League 2 Premier. So this weekend we've got Ripley Valley taking on Slacks Creek, taking on Newmarket, and then Pine Hills taking on Logan Metro. So I think off chat, obviously, we're speaking about Pine Hills taking on Logan Metro.
Yeah.
I think this might be one of those grand final games really played in the season, 1v2. Tony, have you had a chat with Leo lately? What's his thoughts? Is he still trying to get as many points out of the end of the season as he has, or is he going to look to rebuild? Sorry?
Every game he plays, he wants to win, so there you go.
It's a good attitude by Leo. It's good things he's doing in Cap 2 with Pine Hills, and obviously that competition for me, I think, has been our little baby we've been keeping an eye on.
Yeah, we have. Yep.
Some really good things there, especially with Ripley Valley and both Logan Metro doing good things there.
Yep.
There's some good players in that competition. You know, there's blokes that should be playing a lot higher.
Absolutely. I completely agree.
Do you think
coaches as well that they could get gigs higher up as well?
Yes, that's right.
Do you boys think? Obviously, we talk about the restructure with FQ and the addition of this new league. Could we see clubs possibly? And I already have a look. You know, Pine Hills. I haven't been to Logan Metro. I haven't been to Valley, but I know Pine Hills have pretty, and they wouldn't be far off if there was any opportunity there. Do you think they may be a shout out if they look to go up, or do you think they'd have intentions to try and climb to that league, if not apply for it straight out the gate?
I think they'll apply for it straight away.
Yeah. Look at the big smirk on his face. I don't think Valley have any intention. I was having a chat with them out of the ground a few weeks ago, and their ground's just not set up for it. For that competition, they had to fork out their own money to get $20,000 of their own money to get their own facilities there. You know, I don't know where the state member or the council were and trying to get these guys a bit of assistance, but for them to spend $20,000 of their own money, and their money being 2 or 3 years old, you know, that's a big call there. But look, I just don't think that they haven't got the facilities and they haven't got the money.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the hard thing, obviously. Yes.
Yeah.
What rumor can we start now?
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on from there, I actually think it's interesting because we talk about facilities, we talk about setup, we talk about form and things like that. Moving into the Cap League 3 Premier competition, this weekend we got Jimboomba taking on Willowburn, obviously going quite well for their first season in the Brisbane ranks. I don't know if it's well enough to start climbing, but they're doing very well from results. Mm-hmm. That's on Saturday night at 6. Then Narangba at 6:30, they take on Logan Village at home. And then Sunday, Springfield take on Redcliffe. Mm-hmm. So this is another one. This is probably one of the most competitive competitions still, because Narangba, they've played 13 games on 33 points, and Springfield, they've played 12 on 30 points. So still in it, still plenty there to be played for.
Yep.
What are your boys' thoughts? Do you think it'll go down to the death? Do you think Springfield can possibly scalp Narangba and hopefully take goal difference and wins out of it?
Yes.
Yes.
Who's got the
Sorry, Tony, what was that?
Who's got the most wins? I'm finding the team with the most wins winning it strange.
Yeah, I had this discussion with someone from the Sunshine Coast Wanderers on Monday night, and it's interesting because I've always been under the understanding that we want to see goals. Goals are exciting. That's what we want to see when we go to a game. We want to see goals. We want to see attacking football. And it's interesting because you can have more wins but have close to a neutral goal difference, and you're going to be rewarded. It's interesting. Like you said, Tony, you know, coaches want to go out there to win games. They want all the points, and, you know, you want coaches like Leo who are going to go out there and try and put people to the sword. It's interesting.
Yeah, you want your coaches to encourage their players just to keep banging in goals, because there was always that, you know, there was always the for and against. So the more goals you got, you know, the better off you were. So look, I don't know. I don't think that'll stop players from banging in goals and having big wins. But it's just another element there that we're so used to with football around the world. You know, that it's going to come down to most wins now.
It comes down to most wins, but if it's hypothetically, you've got a club that, say, top of the table in the NPL, Power win on Friday, the next 2 rounds are irrelevant. You might as well rest your players, freshen them up, and go again for the finals.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because the top 4's clear cut anyway. It's not going to be whatever happens.
Yeah. That's right. Yep. Yeah, why wouldn't you be trying to just bang in more goals or try and leapfrog?
If I was, if I was Ben Kahn and I had a few blokes and sitting on cards and things, I'd rest a lot.
Well, especially when you got the talent and depth of the squad he has, it's definitely wouldn't want to take any risks on some of those boys.
I'm just using Olympic as an example. It could be any team.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it makes it very interesting for these last 2 weekends, of course.
Well, it's over on Friday night. If Power win on Friday, what happens after that? It's irrelevant. Where they're going to finish, it doesn't matter where they finish. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to play each other anyway.
I'm pretty sure that top 4 is locked down because in the NPL, Moreton Bay and Brisbane Royal Youth are just too far out of reach to finish in that top 4.
That's right. So it's dusted.
Yeah, because, I mean, having a look as it stands at the moment, obviously Moreton Bay have this game tonight that they're taking on Gold Coast United. So I don't know who did the scheduling for this one, whether it was FQ or the clubs, but interesting choice on this night of all nights.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Moreton Bay are, at the moment, 17 points off Gold Coast Knights.
There you go.
And, yeah, Brisbane Royal Youth 18. So, yeah, it's pretty much wrapped up there. It's just who wants to win the overall comp.
So it's all over Friday night.
Well, I think we'll all be
absolutely.
Maybe, Tony. Maybe. Have you predicted it?
Well, Capalaba aren't going to beat Power.
No.
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 Yeah, it's an interesting. I think Capalaba will take it to them, though. I don't think their current 11th position is really a reflection on their form this year. I think I know they've had that pretty big cricket score loss earlier in the year against East, but outside of that, they've been a pretty consistent team.
No, I think Power will be too professional with it. I think they'll want to be pushing Olympic. That's what I said earlier in the chat here. Was that they won't want to chance anything with Olympic being so close. They'll just keep banging them in and just they'll be more professional than that. I think.
Yeah, they won't let that slip away.
No.
Well, on that, boys, I might tie it up. Hopefully something exciting happens this weekend, so we can bring a bit more excitement through this next week. Either way, I know there's going to be a few hot topics going on. I'd like to thank you as always, guys. Liam, thank you. Tony, thank you.
Thanks, Tony.
No worries. See you
Once again, I'd like to thank the Look Finance for supporting the SEQFC preview show with thanks to Village Law. That's us for this week. Thank you for the early one, boys. Have a great week and enjoy your weekend.
No, boys. Thank you, boys. See you.
See ya.
See you, Tony.
Bye.
See you, Joe.